Good evening, Sandus. By now I'm sure many of you have heard that our state has been expelled from the Grand Unified Micronational. I have just recently finished directly addressing the chairman of the Grand Unified Micronational. In that address, the spirit that I want to express to you as citizens is that our state will fervently stand behind its society and the social equality within our state. Our state has long been a supporter of the destruction of racism, of sexism, Islamophobia, etc. Our state has been against the discrimination of peoples based on whomever they may be. Unfortunately, there are those who stand against us, whose thinking and social views are archaic and medieval. It's unfortunate that our state has had to come to this position. It's unfortunate that it's had to come, especially in such a festive occasion as the New Year. However, our state must ardently stand by the belief of social equality, and our state will continue to do so. There are those as well who not only who do not oppose us, but who rather support us. Unfortunately, they don't see the difference between action and inaction. They see rather that it is politically convenient to remain silent. In fact, over the past few months, I've been addressed by many other micronationalists, many other people who are neutral to our state, and people who are historically enemies of our state. A great friendship is being created with Yokelandia and with Persainia. And these people come to the Central People's Government and they say, we support you. But many of them do not act. And in that way, it's not very Sandum of us. It wouldn't be Sandum of us if we didn't act against injustice, against suffering. That is the entire purpose of our philosophy. That's the entire purpose of the Sandum value. It's not just about believing in things. It's not just about believing that suffering exists. The state is meant to be, culturally, it's meant to be a motivator for the individual to end their suffering and the suffering around them. So far, it's been a very good motivator. We've done a lot. We volunteered, we donated a lot of money, a lot of time, a lot of our resources to the ending of suffering. But then there's suffering that goes beyond us. It goes out into the society around us. And it's not just our society. Our society is liberal, it's socialist, and I believe it's a very good society. But the society around us is not as equal, it's not as socialist. And of course there are some, even within our state, who argue about socialism. We all agree on equality. That is one thing that we all agree on. And there are people who agree on equality as well. People who aren't our allies, people who aren't our enemies, who agree on equality. And over the past few months, there's been a talk about equality versus equal treatment. And the philosophical question that I have is, can one treat another equally, but not believe in equality? And I believe that answer is no. One cannot treat another equally if they do not believe that the other person is equal to them. It's very simple, in fact. It's based upon human nature. And yet there are people who say no, in fact, you can treat another person equally, even if you don't believe that that person is your equal. Of course, I won't get into the philosophical ideas behind that. But the importance of this address is that I want you to know, as your Sôgmô and as a citizen, I am doing everything that I can to make sure that our philosophy, the Sandum value, will not be hindered in any way. And then there are those of you who may say, but it's not hindering us. And I will say to you, it's associating ourselves with that. It is associating ourselves with injustice when we cannot do anything in our power to quell that injustice, to quell inequality. Other people, other micronations, other states, they may not care as much as we do, as much as I do, as your Sôgmô, and as a citizen. But there is much equality within our state, within our surrounding areas, and within the intermicronational community. And it goes against our philosophy. All that we've agreed on together to go against the equality of peoples. And that is what we're doing here. We're not just saying that these people are wrong and we're trying to correct them. We're trying to work towards a more equal society. We're using our philosophy for that, the Sandum value for that. And of course we might get heated, we might get angry and upset. We might even be angry at miseries and expulsion. But we are showing not only our own people, not only our families, we're also showing the people around us that we do believe in equality of all people, whether they be Arabs, whether they be blacks, women, Muslims, Orthodox or Catholic Christians. We believe in the equality of all peoples. And we think that their inequality is not because of whomever they may be, biologically, sexually, gender-wise, age-wise, religious-wise. But people are unequal because of their social status. And that is one thing that speaks to our philosophy very well. That we must get rid of the suffering caused by inequality. And we can't do that without some action. And many of you will say, well, this isn't very grave at all, but yes, it is. You see, in a micronational world, it's the small things that matter. The small things over whether or not you support another person's political beliefs, that women are unequal, that all people are unequal, that all Arabs are criminals, all Moroccan immigrants are criminals. All minorities are criminals. And that goes against our philosophy. And of course, many people simply will not care, and they simply do not care. But that is perhaps one thing that is very good about our culture, is that not only do we think, we analyze, and react. And in the best of Marxist ways, that sort of dialectical reasoning is something that truly urges our state on for the advance. Thank you, Sandum citizens, and a Happy New Year.